Welcome. A lot of students usually ask what is the cutoff and how much should I score when I'm giving a competitive exam. Now here we would be discussing an analysis for the UGC NET exam that happened in December 2022 and the June 23 cycle. What we would do is we would compare the cutoffs for respective subjects for few of the subjects and understand how much do cutoff actually matter. Now this is, as you can see, for June 23 and this is for December 21 or June 22. Now here in economics, under the JRF category, the cutoff was 188. However, this cutoff in 22 was 212, far way off than it was expected. Similarly, for assistant professor, where it was 170 in 23, it was 192. That means the level of difficulty of paper was extremely different in both the sets, and therefore it's important that you don't just go by the cutoffs. You understand the concepts well based on the type of question paper which was asked, the level of difficulty, and the other candidates, the things and the cutoffs would definitely vary. Now similarly, we are taking few more examples. For philosophy, it was 218 for the JRF, which increased to 220, which was previously 226, and for assistant professor, which was 206, reduced to 198. Again, a marked difference. Again, the number of students who qualified varied significantly. For JRF, it was only 18 students in 23. However, it was 33 students in the June cycle. Now, let's talk about education. In education, we saw that again the cutoffs varied significantly from 190, which was the new cutoff. The previous cutoff was 210. Similarly, the cutoff for education for assistant professor was 190, which reduced to 172. Now in most of the papers, again if you see a pattern, we have seen that the cutoff is reducing. Now when I say cutoff is reducing, it is indicative of two things. One, that is the competition is increasing, and the second most important thing is the papers are getting difficult day by day. The level and the conceptual concepts or the conceptual clarity which is required to crack the exam has been significantly up. However, those who qualified the assistant professor exam, the number of candidates for education was significantly higher, as we could see. And the JRFs, again we have a significant number of JRFs from education subject, but independently if we approach the 2 years, we would see that both the figures have significantly reduced from June 22 cycle. Again, talking about geography as one of the subjects, the previous cutoff was 202, which increased to 208. So here in this case we have seen an increase in the cutoff. Again, the people who qualified JRF have reduced significantly. Then the assistant professor, those who qualified the assistant professor remain more or less the same, but the cutoffs for assistant professor increased significantly. Now this is an indicative about the fact that you should not bother about cutoffs. It's really important that you practice well, have good conceptual clarity. So the first thing that you need to do is practice. The second thing you need to have is conceptual clarity. And the third thing is speed and accuracy. And the last thing is to solve the past papers. Solve past papers. So with these specific things in mind, you can actually rule out that complete idea of cutoff and taking that into analysis when you are appearing for your competitive exams like NET and others. Thanks for joining in. We will be covering many further similar sessions which are really useful to have an insight before you start preparing for your NET examinations. Thanks for joining in today.